Now, discussion on potential risk or opportunities Brexit could or might cause to the economy of Africa is alive in South Africa, where business experts point at the possibility of a reduced investor appetite. UK High Commissioner had earlier said South Africa and South Africans need not fear Brexit as it will be good for this country. The main questions remain as to when shall a Brexit deal be announced and what picture would it paint on trade partners, especially in Africa. Let's go with the report.
The UK is South Africa's fourth largest trading partner. Exports to the UK since January this year totaled over $3 billion. Over 175,000 jobs have been created through this partnership. This is why South Africa wasted no time in securing itself. It started trade negotiations months after Brexit became a reality.
Rollover trade agreements have been signed to ensure that the current trade terms that South Africa has with the EU would then apply to trade with the UK. All of the items such as motor vehicles and primary goods that are exported to the UK continue to be traded tariff-free and at the same rates.
A few weeks ago, South Africa and its neighbours officially signed a deal to ensure that trade will continue as per normal no matter what transpires. But the health of the UK is also important to South Africa. That economy is under pressure. The weaker pound has pushed up inflation, making goods more expensive. Any more economic strain could limit the UK's buying power.
South Africa is good for now. It's also well positioned for the trade negotiations that will come after the UK finally leaves the EU.
There are still some products that are traded between South Africa and the UK that rely on quite complex global supply chains, and there is uncertainty there until we see what the deal looks like between the UK and the EU. Of course, what we all often sometimes forget about Brexit is that this is just really the first step in the process of divorce, if you like. So when the initial separation agreement takes place between the UK and the EU, there will still be many years of negotiations ahead to structure what the new partnership looks like.
It gives African countries an opportunity to then come up with new terms for trade with the UK, and this is where ourselves as Siaka Africa actually play a key role. To match investors to the appropriate investments, we identify investments within the Africa space. If you look at the African economy, we're looking at a 1.25 billion population, which equates to about $3 trillion worth of potential trade that can actually happen. So, there are a lot of great opportunities.
Which is exactly what former British Prime Minister Theresa May did when she visited Africa and other regions. She discussed new partnerships and strengthened the ongoing ones to make sure that there would be other relationships outside of the European Union.
While South Africa takes a proactive stance on trade ahead of Brexit finalization,